Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mind, Body and Soul, where your whole health matters. I'm Jemima Godsall, and this is my beautiful co-host, Darcy and Marta. Hello, hello.
Hello.
And each week we bring topics surrounding things about mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. And I am also an ambassador for Theraexpressions Meditation in Casper, Wyoming. We're there to mental health matters. They're online at therapeutic.com, have lots of good online classes, and just check them out. They're really worthwhile. They've helped me a lot in my healing. And we sort of collaborated here for me to bring this to them as well.
And aren't you also a Pilates instructor?
Yes, I am.
You do an online Pilates class, don't you?
I do online Pilates and online breathwork. Thank you, Darcy, for pumping me. Yes, breathwork is amazing. Yeah, it's true. Breathwork and Pilates. Pilates is Monday to Friday, 5 days a week at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And breathwork is every full moon or new moon every other 2 weeks on Sundays at 9 a.m. And both are really amazing. We've got a great community, really, and the community is growing with breathwork particularly. It's a great healing tool. It's really good timing with the new moon, full moon to release or to start something, with the full and the new. So yeah, come along. If you're interested, DM us. Thank you, Das.
You're so welcome.
Okay, so today we'd like to talk as briefly as we can about intuition. Intuition is a massive topic, but I was just thinking, yesterday I was in a situation with my lover, and we were just talking about something, a gut feeling that he was feeling, and it was his intuition, and I was going to go for it, and it just sparked the idea around intuition, because I know that with my trauma of drug addiction and my chaos in California, I got really paranoid. I've got post-traumatic from the gang, but also post-traumatic from the drug addiction. And I know that I was in a psychosis of paranoia, but my intuition was playing with my paranoia. Like I'm going, which is my paranoia, which is my intuition. And I was pretty messed up. So now out of the situation, I'm relearning to trust my intuition. And I am extremely intuitive, and I love that. But I'm still sometimes, if I go out, I think I still get a little scared sometimes. And I think, is that my intuition or is that my post-traumatic? I've got to learn to go, okay, this is not real. That there's nobody stalking me. Sort of thing. It's that extreme sometimes. There's nobody following. Yeah. And I've got to just take a breath and go, I work out what is really the intuition and what it isn't. And then we were also saying that everybody human has that. If you don't believe in intuition, because if you think it's like woo-woo to you, that gut feeling, that feeling, and you think, I've got to do something, or I should call them, or whatever it may be, is to minor or major. And I mean, it's just something we have to, I think, tap into, because it really it's that inner knowing. It's like the spiritual side of us guiding us to the best possible thing for that moment, for the best experience, for the most worthwhile experience. It doesn't have to be best because it may not be good, but it may be the most worthwhile thing that you have to do in that moment. Right. And it's a really beautiful thing when you tap, when you're in the flow and you tap into your intuition and things just go, and it's like, God, I'm just going with what I feel, not knowing, not calculating out and knowing to know why and the answers behind it or what ifs. It's just going with the flow. And what say you to intuition, to us? I know you're you're very intuitive. Aside from our astrological signs, we're both empathic and we're both very in tune with our spirituality. So, what say you?
Well, the thing about intuition is it's also your animal instinct. You need that physical animal instinct. It's our part of our survival. And I think our intuition gets out of balance when we've had trauma, childhood trauma, where we don't trust relationships, or adult trauma, and then our trauma sometimes will lead us rather than our intuition will lead us. Right, and I think the only way to really tap into intuition is to ground yourself and meditate and really understand how to quiet the chatter, to really your intuition is that, like you said, your gut instinct, it's your first impression. And then we start chattering over our first impression. We start questioning our thoughts. But if you have a first impression, to really breathe into it, where do you feel it in your body? I'll never forget. I was, this is years ago, when I was living in Los Angeles and I was visiting my friend in Santa Monica. And she lived in an okay neighborhood, it was kind of a transitional neighborhood because she was right near a freeway on-ramp area.
Right.
And I was doing a play at the time, so I had all the props shoved in my car. My car was just loaded with junk, stuff I needed for this play. Anyway, I had this little funky old Datsun hatchback, right? So I park it on the side of the road, and I look up and I see these 3 men walking towards me. It's evening, it's nighttime, it's dark. And I just parked it, and I looked up and went, literally my body just took in a breath. Oh, I just knew I was in big trouble. I could feel it all the way down the block. I'm like, what am I going to do? How do I get out of the car? What I should have done was listen to myself and driven away, pulled out of the parking lot and just driven away and then come back later. But what I did was I decided to slam the door and make a big scene, like, hey, and I started yelling, oh, where are you? And I went across the street like I was going to knock at my friend's house over there. And I watched them all walk past me. And then I walked back on the other way. And, I was just still yelling the whole time, right? Just to make a big. I came out after I visited my friend for a couple of hours. We had a big gathering in there. I come out, my car's stolen. So they came. And when I went
no.
I know, stolen. I'm like, seriously, those guys, they did it. They came back and took the car. And when I went to the police department, they said, oh yeah, those Datsuns are the easiest ones to break into and hotwire. They're like number 3 on our theft list. I'm like, seriously, it's a piece of junk. He goes, yeah, they're great for doing crimes. You steal them.
And it had all your props in it?
Huh? It
had all your props in it?
I had all my props for this show, and I had to replace and redo everything. I mean, it was just like a big nightmare. But also, and then getting the car back was a big nightmare, because of course they did that. They drove it all over the LA basin from Arizona to Los Angeles, got ticketed everywhere, and then left it on the side of the road, and it got impounded. I finally got a message that it found at an impound. I had to pay the impound, and then I couldn't get my registration renewed because it had all these outstanding tickets. So I had to research all the tickets. I had to take my police report to the DMV to show. I mean, it was a big, huge mess. But the intuition, phew, it hit me.
Exactly.
It hit me like a wave. I knew that was happening. And we also have good intuition. We say, like, with your partner, when you met him, that was really good intuition. You said, oh, this person is wonderful, and I'm gonna buy that RV from him and change my life that way. I mean, that was just brilliant. That was brilliant intuition. Sometimes your intuition tells you turn left instead of right.
Yep.
Let's see what's down this new road, and
it's funny.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was just thinking, one intuition I remember, a very example too, was my dad was very sick, and it was quite a while, and I was in South Carolina at that stage, and I was cleaning someone's house, and I remember this bird flew, and it went, and I was stopped, and I was like, that was my dad. That was my dad. He just passed. And I just kept cleaning, and then I went out to the car, and Mum had a voice message saying, your dad just passed, and I was like, oh my God, I just got goosebumps. I just burst into tears and went back and knocked on the door, and I said, can I just take a moment my dad just passed away. But I knew that bird was him going, I love you, I'm out of here, and I felt it. I felt him, I felt it, and the intuition was spot on. And it was like, literally, I mean, it blew me away. It blows me away to feel like how powerful it is, powerful. And I know obviously also the energy passing is influenced my intuition, but it's just such a powerful energy, human energy we have, like it's our soul energy we have, and it can bring you to, I mean, thank God you were safe, but it can help us in so many ways, and it tends to help us the whole time, even if it isn't the best experience. It's what you need to go through in that time. Like, that wasn't exactly the nicest thing to feel like my dad just passed, but it was spot on to opening. It was just the truth. It was a spot on truth that I needed to face, powerful. Like, it's really,
I was gonna say, I think if you're questioning your intuition, if you're really questioning yourself, that's like a moment where you just need to allow yourself to stop whatever you're doing and and really just go inside yourself.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Nice,
Yep.
deep breaths. Like if you're feeling paranoid, you're going to go out and you feel paranoid, take yourself down and sit for just a moment. Say, I need just a moment. Go find that quiet within you.
Yeah,
Quiet.
yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Because,
Yeah.
dealing with my psychosis of the
Oops.
and now that I'm coming out into the world with my breath work, am I here? Yeah. Now that I'm going out with the breath work out into Bisbee, I've had to like overcome that, but I still feel trepidatious going. I feel like the nerves come up and I go, I got to like take a moment, because it's so powerful, the post-traumatic from it, but it's also messing with my intuition. And before the breath work, I missed out on a lot of times going out because I wasn't ready to. Withdrew, scared, still dealing with it, and that's okay, a process. But it's just interesting seeing when I go out, I go, oh, and then if someone's a little weird, I go really far-fetched into, oh no, like my post-traumatic jumps in to protect me, but and the intuition is kind of right, but like not as extreme. Like they're not going to get a gun and try and put it to my head like that happened. You know what I mean? Like it's not these situations so dire. So it's just like it's taking a breath and really seeing, where is this really happening? Is this really my gut feeling, my intuition, or is it my psychosis, or whatever it may be for someone, or is it just like me analyzing it too far? Mm-hmm. Quite amazing.
Quiet, getting yourself quiet, going internal, just taking those nice deep breaths and reminding yourself, I am here now. I'm right here right now. I am safe. I am here now. And just breathing and doing whatever you can to clear the chatter, clear the mind, clear the chatter, get that single pointed focus of just being very present with yourself. And then if your intuition says, no, this is not a good choice for me, then you listen to that. No, I should not go today. I should not. Because maybe what your intuition is saying is, it's not that the world is bad, but that you're vibrating at the wrong level. And so you might need to just really reground yourself, reset yourself, and come back into your body, that you're too vulnerable. And you got to honor that as much as anything else, So,
totally.
So I don't believe that you will always attract whenever you're vulnerable, but you can attract more when you're not grounded, stable, and ready to meet the world. I know I have these days where I have a lot of errands to run, and I can feel it in my body when I cannot get in the freeway.
Right.
I can't get on the freeway. I'm not getting on the freeway. I call it freeway energy. Like, like I was driving my son somewhere. We had to go get something together. And then he goes, why don't you just take the freeway? I said, I don't have freeway energy today. I don't have that really fast, I am safe, I'm in my own lane type of thing. I was too broad to get on too vulnerable, too broad. I'm like, nope, no freeway energy for me today. And so just being able to honor that in myself doesn't mean that it's a failing of mine.
No. But just not rather trust it than take a risk.
Yeah.
A lot of those people let me use the example, and sorry if this triggers people, of September 11. There's a lot of freakish times where people go, I've never missed a day in work, and the traffic happened, I couldn't get there, universe stopping them from getting there. There's also a lot of people who said, no, I'm not going to work today, or maybe they weren't even aware that they took a sickie, but maybe that was their intuition deep down, just stopping them from going, and like they've never had a day off. I think that's so many tales were like that, so many stories we heard where like this freak, I have never missed a day and I missed that day, and it just, a lot of that was probably intuition, that unknown intuition. That makes sense. Intuition can be something that you don't really know, you just go with the flow, that just happens. And then you think, oh, wow, I didn't go on purpose. Like it was one of those, it can work in crazy ways, because you don't have to be necessarily consciously aware of that intuition working. It can be, you can just do it and then go, oh, wow, that's like actually my soul self, the connection with the universe that is sort of guiding me in the right way to stop me from the trauma of September 11. Like I thought there's so many stories that way. It was quite I don't know, just magical in a way, even though it was a sad situation. That's magic. Like it's human magic, it's the soul magic. It's of being able to never miss a day, and then suddenly that's the day you miss. Wow.
And then listen, and that's the whole point, is that they are listening to themselves,
Yeah,
listening to
exactly.
themselves that day, instead of fighting the idea. No, I've got to do this. I have to do that. I also, this is gonna sound really funny, but well, maybe not. Nature oftentimes will feed into my intuition. Like I'll see something in nature, and it'll have me stop, and then I'll really think about what's happening. Like, for example, crows. When the crows talk to
Yep.
me, sometimes crows are very specific, and crows give you the warning. So when I have that crow and it flies onto the tree right over my car and starts yelling at me, I'll stop and I'll listen to it, and I'll say, okay, thank you for warning me. And then I'll be a little extra cautious when I drive that day. Or if I'm going for a walk and the crow is in a different position, like if it's sitting in the east or the west or the north or the south, and it's going off about something, and I'm standing there, all of a sudden there's this crow yelling at me, then I'll stand and I'll talk to it for a little bit, and I'll be much more conscious of what's happening around me. And I always tell that to the crow. I was like, okay, I hear you. Thank you. I will be really paying attention today.
Yeah. I mean, animals are powerful. Like, it's like when storms come, my cats know way before we do. And we all go, oh, wow. And they do a certain energetic shift in their behavior. Or we go, wow, look, it's the sunniest day, but there's a storm coming. We're like, yeah, right. We go, no, they know, we know. Like, it's just amazing that, they know that instinct is so far beyond our human one, in a way. They're so on point. And they don't, and the thing is, they just trust it. They don't have the inner dialogue of going, I don't know, really, if it's sunny, I don't think a storm's coming. They just go, yeah, a storm's freaking coming. I feel it in my body. Oh, here we go. And then we go, like, we're the humans who analyze it and go, huh? No, there's no way. But now we also know to trust the cats, because
check my app. I don't see a storm, right?
God help us, technology. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. I love being in tune with the animals, because they are so much closer to the spiritual side of the world, the answers from the world. They're just in tune.
Yeah, when the hummingbird comes, then we have to look at, have I been experiencing joy in my life? Am I really taking a moment to experience joy? Or the butterflies, when they come through, I start asking myself, where am I in my transformation this week? How am I a part of my transformation, and am I an observer of my transformation? Where am I when those dragonflies come, right? There's that spiritual connection that you ask yourself, oh, I need to step things up a little bit, right? So, nature can really talk to you and ask you to listen to your intuition more. But if you're really struggling to find your intuitive voice, only thing I really know that really helps is to get grounded through meditation. Some type of meditation, whether that's a walking meditation or a sitting meditation. And when I say walking meditation, I mean like no headphones, no, phone calls, but really walking, going, and with your feet, I bless each step. I bless each step. Get a rhythm. I bless each step. I bless each step. Until you can begin to clear your mind, and then you take your breathing with it. I am here now. I am here now. I am here now. Until your body and your mind can come back together in the same place and find their rhythm again. So even walking meditation can really help.
Well, thank you, Darcy. Thank you. I just got hypnotized in. Thank you. Yeah, totally. Great chat about intuition. It's such a loaded topic, but do trust your intuition, guys. Trust that you trust yourself with that feeling that you get, and follow through. Or as you said, take a moment to pause. If your brain starts to chatter and you're not quite sure, just take a moment and really sit with yourself and feel if that gut feeling still exists, or if it's just banter. But amazing. Thank you, Darcy. Thank you so much for today. Amazing. Thank you, everyone. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we shall see you next week. You're amazing. And I shall say goodbye as Darcy shall too. Peace out. Love you guys.